be back in a second. Hey, welcome to Dad Can Cook, and I'm Scott the Grill Man Grippo. And this is another edition of Side Dish. And with fall here, all of these wintry fall side dishes are going to come in handy for the holidays. So today, I'm going to make a cream spinach, artichoke, and butternut squash casserole. First, we got to do the butternut squash. So I got to get this cooked, okay? Because this is the time-consuming part that's going to take the time. So I'm going to make this up. I'm going to show you what we're going to do, and then we'll come back and we'll put it together and we'll start to make this this side dish. So here, let's get down over here and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so I cut the end off. Okay, now I'm going to take the bulb off. I'm not going to use this whole thing because this is a really big acorn squash. I mean butternut squash. So I'm going to cut it from here. Okay, and then I'm going to see if this peels. If it doesn't peel, I'm going to cut it. Yeah, we got a good peel here. So I'm going to peel this down like so. Okay, I'm going to peel this all around. Got a little dead spot there. I'll cut that out when we get to it. I'm making a mess. It's going all over my counter, but I'll clean that up. Okay. This is a tough skin on these. There we go. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to come in with the knife. And cut it down. Like so. Okay. Now we got to bake this in the oven to get it soft before we use it for our casserole. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I just got a little bit left to cut off here. Okay. Now that I have it all peeled, I'm going to cut it here right where that little rotted spot is. I'm going to cut it in half right on that. Like so. We're going to open it up. I'm going to grab a spoon. And we're going to take out the seeds. Wow, this smells so much like a pumpkin. Okay, we're going to scrape out the seeds. Okay. Whoops. Okay. I'll do it with this one. Clean it up really good. Okay. I have my oven preheated at 400 degrees. I'm going to take this pan and I'm going to put about 1 inch of water in it, and I'm going to bake that in the oven for about a half an hour. Okay? And when I take it out, I'm going to cool it off in the fridge so I could slice it nicely. Okay? And I'll show you all of that when we come back and get the rest of this going. So it's going in the oven right now. I'll be back in a few. Okay, in the meantime, while that squash is cooking, I'm making a glaze for my pork chops. Okay? And what I have is I have a peach and mango preserve. I got some brown sugar that I put in here. Okay? I'm going to put in a squeeze of lemon. A squeeze of lemon. And just a dash of cranberry juice. Just a dash. Okay? And I'm going to bring this to a boil. And I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to brush these on my pork chops to finish them at the end. Okay, so that's going to be my glaze. And then I'm going to season my pork chops. Okay, I smell that. That smells so delicious. Get the flavor of all of that lemon. This is really bubbling up a storm. Okay, that's it. That's done. It's as simple as that. Now I'm going to season those chops. Okay, we're going to get this show on the road with this casserole. Okay, so come down here. Okay, look at this. I got 2 thawed out 10-ounce packages of spinach that I'm going to put into the strainer here. Okay? Now what we want to do with this is we want to get all the spinach out first of all. Okay? Get them in the garbage. And what we want to do, look at this. Whoops. We want to squeeze out all of the liquid. Okay? We're going to squeeze it out as much of it as we can. Okay? I'm going to squeeze that out. Okay? Now, hold on one second. Okay, now I have my saute pan here, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that spinach in there. Okay? Got half and half. We're going to go about 2/3 of a quart of half and half in there. Okay? Okay, like so. We're going to start off with like 2/3 of a quart in there. Okay, get that incorporated in there nicely. Okay, I got a half a cup of Parm. Grated Parmesan cheese going in. Okay? Okay, we're going to mix that up. Instead of doing it in a bowl and cleaning the bowl, I'm doing it all in the same pan because this is going to go into a casserole dish. Okay? So we got that going there, right? Now I have my grater and I have a block of Asiago, aged Asiago cheese. Okay? And let me take this rubber lip off and I'm going to grate probably about at least 1/3 of this in here. Okay, this is going to give it really intense flavor. Okay, so we got that. That's going to go in here. We're going to mix that up. Now I can see that I'm going to need a little more liquid in here, so we're going to have to put some more half and half in this. But we're going to mix this up nicely. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to take a can of artichoke hearts that are quartered. Okay, we're going to open that up. Okay, I'm going to put a little of the juice in here. Okay, I'm going to pour the rest of the juice out. I'm going to put those quarters on my cutting block. and I'm going to chop them up. Okay. Rough chop. I'm going to add it to my spinach. Okay. Now I'm going to get in there with my hands and I'm going to mix this up. Okay. I'm going to add a little more. Half and half to that. Okay. I'm going to bring it over to the fire. Come over here. I'll put my pan down here. I'm going to bring this to a boil. Then I'm going to transfer it to my casserole dish. And then we're going to be set waiting for our butternut squash to be done. And I'm going to layer the top with the butternut squash. Okay? So this is going to come to a boil. Okay, it's coming to a boil here. And again, I used half and half instead of heavy cream. Heavy cream would be ideal. It would thicken actually a lot better than the half and half, but this will work perfect. This will work out just fine. Okay, we're going to let this come to a boil and reduce a bit. Okay. Now let it work. Okay, while that's doing its magic, I'm going to pull out the lemon from the glaze and squeeze that all out. It's cooled down enough so I can get my hand in there. I'm going to toss that in the sink. And then I got these peaches that I quartered. I took the pits out of them and I quartered them. And I'm going to put them in this glaze. Okay. I'm going to set these up. And I'm going to bring that to a boil before I serve the pork chops and I put it on the pork chops. This here is smelling really, really good. Really good. Okay? And we're going to let that go for another couple of minutes. It should start thickening up. And I'll show it to you. Look how it's thickening up now. See that? It's getting nice and thick. Okay? Making sure that it's not burning or sticking to the bottom like it okay? So that's about done. Right? In a minute, we're going to transfer it. Okay, I'm bringing it over. Whoa. And I'm putting it in. Scraping that all off the bottom. I want that. Okay. All into this beautiful gratin dish. Son of a gun. That's a lot of cheese. Okay, there we go. That's exactly what I want right here, just like this. Okay? And I'm going to leave this out to cool down. And when the butternut squash is ready, we're going to top it with the butternut squash. We'll finish it in the oven, and I'll show you that when it's all going to happen. Okay, I pulled the squash out of the oven. I drained off the water. Okay, they're still very hot. Okay, but I want to work with these. Normally I would put them in the fridge to cool down, but I want to finish this part of the video up. So if you are going to make this, just stick this tray in the refrigerator for half an hour or so to let these cool down. Okay, I'm going to take them out though and I'm going to work with them hot. Okay, which I really don't want to do, but I will. Okay, and I'm going to cut them into slices like this. See this? I'm going to cut them into slices. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take them and I'm going to layer them around my souffle here. Not my souffle, my gratin. Okay? I'm going to take the other piece out. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. Let me get a different knife that might cut this a little bit better. Okay. Okay. It's nice and tender. Okay. You know, you gotta make it fit however you can make it fit. Okay, these are the good pieces that are going to be the decoration ones towards the end when I get to the end of this also. Okay, we're going to stick that in there like that. I'm going to stick this nice squash over here like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take these pieces and I'm going to, ow, that's hot stuff! And I'm going to lay them down the middle like so. Get the bigger ones over here. I'll start the other end with the smaller ones. Okay, let me take this, put this one here. Catching that? Catching all of this action here? Okay. Okay, we're going to lay that down there like that. Like that. This is like very French provincial. We're going to put that there. We're going to cover that there like that. I'm going to come into this. Get 2 more slices out of that. We're going to come here like so. I'm going to put that piece there. We got that nicely covered. Let me taste this. Oh, I love butternut squash. Okay, let me clean this off. I can move it closer to show you. Okay. Now look at this. Now where do you see this when it's baked? It's going to be beautiful. Okay, so when I'm ready, I'm going to put it in the oven. It's going to go in the oven for about 20-25 minutes at about 400 on the middle shelf. And it's going to get nice and browned. I'm going to dot it with a little butter. I'll show you that can cook side dish. Okay, and we're coming down to the home stretch on this casserole. All right, the spinach and the butternut squash. I got, check it out. I got this ready to go right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some brown sugar and I'm going to sprinkle some brown, just a little bit of brown sugar on this to give it just a slight sweetness. You know, with that cream spinach and artichoke underneath. Okay? Look at that. Okay, let's get that there. See that? Okay, and that's going to brown nicely in the oven. And there I got my seasoned pork chops. Okay, these beautiful pork chops here. And I got my glaze and my peaches. Right? Okay, so I am going to throw everything. I'm not going to throw it in the oven. I'm going to throw it in the oven. Okay? I'm going to throw it in the oven. It's going to bake for about, the squash is probably going to go for about 20-25 minutes. The pork chops are probably going to go for about 15-20 minutes. And then I'm going to heat up that glaze. I'm going to glaze everything. And I'm going to finish under the broiler. Okay, everything's in the oven. and we'll be back to plate it when it all comes out. Okay? Okay, we're back, okay, for the finale of this episode. Okay, and this is gonna be so absolutely delicious. I'm gonna pull this stuff out of the oven, and I'm gonna show you exactly what our dinner is gonna be tonight. And it's gonna be dynamite. So, let's get over here. Okay? Here are the pork chops. Okay? I'm gonna lay them out. Whoa, that's a huge pork chop. Okay, quiet. Okay, check this out. Check it out. All right, now my glaze. Check out the glaze. I'm gonna put the peaches all on top here. Here's my peaches all on top here. Okay. And I'm gonna pour this. Okay, I'm going to scrape it all out. Make sure it gets on all of the chops. Look at this. How yummy is this? Look at this. Wow. Look at that. Okay. So, that's the main course. Okay. Now check this out. This is what the show is about. This beautiful, beautiful spinach artichoke and butternut squash. Okay? Check it out. How lovely is that? Wow, that's beautiful. Hey. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this episode as much as we're going to enjoy eating this. And it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'll see you later.
Show these girls that I own them. Some call me Mickey and some call me Roman. Skeezer, please, I'm in a visa. Whoa, just like and I need my own sneaker. Sexy, that's all I do. If you need a bad bitch, let me call up yo. I'm someone and I'm living many services out. I see some good girls, I'ma turn them out. Okay, bottle, sip, bottle, guzzle. I'm a bad bitch, no muzzle. Hey, bottle, sip, bottle, guzzle. I'm a bad bitch, no muzzle. Let's go. Makes me